What if the monsters are real? In the blank spaces on our maps, in the crushing dark of the abyss, and in the deepest shadows of our own psyche, humanity has always whispered tales of impossible creatures, beings that defy biology, physics, and reason. Today, we journey into the heart of legend. We peel back the layers of myth to uncover the truths they may hide. This is the definitive countdown of the 10 most famous mythical creatures of all time. Before we unleash the beasts, join us on this expedition by subscribing and ringing the notification bell. Your support fuels our quest for the unknown. Now, the countdown begins. Number 10, the Kirin or Qilin. Revered in East Asian mythology, the Kirin is often called the Chinese unicorn, but it is so much more. This is not a beast to be feared, but a divine messenger, whose appearance signifies the arrival of a wise and benevolent ruler. A stunning hybrid, it bears the body of a deer, the head of a dragon, and the hooves of a horse, all cloaked in brilliant, shimmering scales. Legends claim the Kirin can live for 1,000 years, and its voice is said to sound like the chiming of bells. The most famous legend tied to its appearance is the one preceding the birth of the sage Confucius, where a Kirin appeared to his mother, foretelling the greatness of her unborn son. It is said to tread upon the very clouds. So gentle is its nature that it refuses to harm a single blade of grass. However, this gentleness should not be mistaken for weakness. The Kirin is also a righteous judge, said to be able to detect the pure of heart and punish the wicked, sometimes by engulfing them in a sacred fire that harms only the guilty. The Kirin is a testament to the idea that not all things unknown are to be feared. Some are portents of unparalleled luck, peace, and prosperity. Number 9, the Chimera. From the annals of Greek mythology, the Chimera is nature's laws torn asunder. A terrifying, fire-breathing hybrid, it was a biological weapon of the gods. Born from the monstrous union of the titans Typhon and Echidna, the Chimera was sibling to other legendary horrors such as Cerberus and the Lernaean Hydra, a true dynasty of dread. The most common depiction gives it the head and body of a lion, a goat's head erupting from its back, and a venomous serpent for a tail. It terrorized the ancient land of Lycia, scorching the earth with its infernal breath. The beast's reign of terror was so absolute that the local king, Iobates, commanded the hero Bellerophon to slay it, a task intended to be a death sentence. But its downfall came from its own power. The hero Bellerophon, mounted on the winged horse Pegasus, lodged a lead-tipped spear into the beast's throat. The Chimera's own fire melted the lead, sealing its fate in a gruesome yet ingenious end to a creature born of chaos. Yet its name endures. In modern science, a chimera refers to an organism with genetically distinct cells, and chimerical describes anything hoped for but illusory and impossible to achieve, a fitting legacy for a monster that was once the very definition of a waking nightmare. Number 8, the Kraken. Originating from the icy fjords of Scandinavia, the name itself is believed to derive from the Old Norse word krake, meaning a deformed or crooked animal. The Kraken was the king of all sea monsters. Described as a living island of muscle and malice, sailors spoke of mistaking its vast, dormant back for a new island, only to be dragged to their doom when the creature submerged. Its colossal tentacles could snap a ship's mast like a twig, dragging entire crews into a watery grave. For centuries, it was a symbol of the ocean's wrathful, unknowable power. Its presence was often heralded by two signs: a sudden, rich school of fish drawn to its leavings, and the churning of a mighty whirlpool as it descended into the abyss. But could this myth have a basis in reality? In 1857, science gave us an answer: the giant squid Architeuthis dux, a real-life, deep-sea titan reaching up to 43 feet long. And it's not alone. Its even more massive cousin, the colossal squid, lurks in the Antarctic depths, armed with swiveling hooks on its tentacles. Suddenly, the sailors' tales didn't seem so far-fetched. The Kraken may not be a myth, but a memory, an exaggerated, terrified memory of a real monster from the deep. Number 7. The werewolf. The werewolf, or lycanthrope, a name derived from the Greek myth of King Lycan, who was turned into a wolf by Zeus as punishment for his cruelty, is a civil war fought within a single body. A human soul trapped in a prison of primal rage. By the light of the full moon, man gives way to beast, a perfect predator of supernatural strength and untamed ferocity. While a bite is the most famous method of transmission, legends also speak of being cursed, making pacts with dark powers, or even donning an enchanted wolf pelt belt to willingly trigger the change. This legend speaks to a primal human anxiety. What happens when we lose control? From ancient fears of rabid wolf attacks to the psychological dread of our own savage instincts, the werewolf represents the beast that lives inside us all, fighting for its release. Yet, for every tale of its ferocity, there is a legend of its weakness. Silver, believed to be a pure metal connected to the moon. Silver is the werewolf's ultimate bane, capable of burning its flesh and delivering a final, merciful death. This iconic vulnerability is humanity's one true defense against the monster born from within. Number 6. The mermaid. The very name mermaid comes from Old English, combining mere sea with maid, a young woman, literally a maiden of the sea. With the upper body of a human and the tail of a fish, the mermaid's legend is as vast and deep as the oceans they inhabit. In some tales, they're benevolent guides, rescuing drowning sailors. In others, they are deadly sirens, their enchanting songs luring ships to their doom upon the rocks. Often depicted combing their hair while gazing into a mirror, they represent a fatal vanity, their beauty being the very bait in their trap. A more tragic theme in their lore is the belief that mermaids lack an immortal soul, and this longing sometimes drives their interactions with the human world. It is even said that their tears, born from this sorrow, would crystallize into precious pearls. Even Christopher Columbus reported sighting 3 of them, noting they were not as beautiful as they are painted. Historians now have a compelling theory for what he saw: the manatee, a real marine mammal that may have fueled the imaginations of lonely, sea-weary sailors. Number 5. The phoenix. A magnificent bird of crimson and gold, the phoenix is a living embodiment of the sun itself. Its very name is said to come from the Greek word phoenix, meaning crimson, a direct nod to its fiery plumage. After a life spanning 1,000 years, it builds its own funeral pyre from aromatic spices like myrrh and cinnamon, and is consumed in a blaze of glory. But this is not the end. From the ashes, a new, young phoenix is born. Beyond its cycle of rebirth, legends claim its tears possess miraculous healing properties, capable of curing any wound, and its song can inspire courage in the pure of heart. While its Western form is about a cycle of death and rebirth, its Eastern counterpart, the Feng Wang, represents harmony and good fortune. The Feng Wang is also fundamentally different in that it is often depicted as a pair, the male Feng and the female Huang, together embodying the perfect balance of yin and yang. In either form, the phoenix is a timeless metaphor for hope, the belief that even from total devastation, life can and will begin anew. Number 4. Bigfoot, also known as Sasquatch, a name adapted from Sesquak, meaning wild man in the language of the region's indigenous peoples. This hulking, bipedal ape is said to stalk the vast, remote forests of the Pacific Northwest. Beyond footprints, eyewitness accounts often mention a powerful, foul odor accompanying a sighting, as well as eerie howls and rhythmic wood knocks that echo through the forest at night, sounds believed to be a form of communication. In an age of satellites and GPS, the idea that a species of this size could remain undiscovered is both a scientific puzzle and a romantic notion. The 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film remains the most debated piece of footage in the history of cryptozoology, a few seconds that have captivated and divided experts for over 50 years. Is it an elaborate hoax or a fleeting glimpse of an unknown North American primate? Until we find a body, what science calls a type specimen, the Sasquatch will remain a tantalizing phantom of the woods. Ultimately, its endurance as a myth speaks to a deep-seated human desire for a world that still holds great mysteries, a final frontier against the encroachment of civilization. Number 3, the vampire, the undead who walk among us, feasting on the blood of the living. The vampire is a powerful symbol of forbidden desire, disease, and the terror of mortality. But before the sophisticated, tragic figures of Gothic literature, a transformation famously cemented by Bram Stoker's 1897 novel Dracula, which borrowed the name and brutal reputation of the 15th century prince, Vlad the Impaler. The original vampire of Eastern European folklore was something far more terrifying. They were described as bloated, foul-smelling, shrouded corpses that rose from the grave, not with charm, but with pestilence, plaguing their own families. This gruesome image likely stems from a pre-scientific understanding of decomposition, where a body might swell and purge fluid, appearing to have fed. It was this monstrous figure that later writers refined, adding the now iconic rules: an inability to enter a home uninvited, a revulsion to garlic and holy symbols, and a fatal vulnerability to sunlight. The vampire's evolution from a ghoulish fiend to a charismatic predator shows how our fears can transform over time. Our runner-up at number 2 is the world's most famous cryptid, a prehistoric relic believed to be hiding in plain sight. Number 2, the Loch Ness Monster. Affectionately known as Nessie, this creature is said to inhabit the deep, murky waters of Loch Ness in the Scottish Highlands. But the legend is far older than the 20th century. The first recorded account dates back to the 6th century in a biography of the Irish monk Street Columba, who supposedly banished a water beast that was attacking a local man. The popular image is that of a surviving plesiosaur, a long-necked marine reptile from the age of dinosaurs, hiding in a loch so deep and stained dark with peat that visibility is near zero, creating the perfect veil of secrecy. The most iconic photo of Nessie, the 1934 surgeon's photograph, was revealed to be a clever hoax. So why, in the face of debunked evidence, does the legend endure? Modern science has offered a new, intriguing possibility. A 2019 study of environmental DNA, EDNA, from a loch found no trace of a reptile, but a significant amount of eel DNA, leading to the theory that Nessie sightings might simply be encounters with giant eels. Perhaps it's because Nessie represents the possibility of wonder, the hope that in a deep, dark corner of our modern world, a secret from prehistoric times is still waiting to be discovered. Number 1, the dragon. The dragon is the ultimate mythical creature, but here lies the most fascinating part of its legacy. It is a creature of 2 distinct identities. In the West, it is an apocalypse, a winged, fire-breathing reptile, the ultimate symbol of greed and destruction. This is the dragon of European legend, the beast slain by heroes like St. George, the hoarder of gold in its mountain lair, demanding tribute and spreading terror. Yet in the East, the dragon is divine, a wise, serpentine being of water and air. It is not a monster to be slain, but a god to be revered, a bringer of fortune, a master of water and weather. It could summon life-giving rain for crops or unleash devastating typhoons if angered. Its power was so revered that in Imperial China, the 5-clawed dragon was a symbol reserved exclusively for the emperor himself. How could one creature embody both ultimate evil and divine benevolence? The answer may lie not in myth, but buried in the earth. The discovery of dinosaur fossils by ancient peoples, or perhaps even the bones of whales or giant crocodiles, may have given birth to the image of these magnificent beasts, each culture shaping the legend to fit its own worldview. The very word dragon comes from the Greek drakon, meaning to watch, suggesting their original role was as powerful guardians, not just of worldly treasures, but of sacred places, profound wisdom, or the very forces of nature themselves. From the grace of the Kirin to the might of the dragon, These are not just monsters. They are the enduring echoes of our collective imagination. Timeless legends that prove our fascination with the unknown will never die. The question we leave you with is, which legend speaks to you? And what creatures still lurk in the shadows of our modern world, waiting to be discovered? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into myth, be sure to give this video a like. And join us again as we investigate the 9 strangest and rarest snakes on Earth you won't believe exist. The link is on your screen now. Thank you for watching.